Hello children of class 4. Here I am with
Unit 8
from your English textbook Marigold. At first, let us discuss a little. Children, we all love to listen, read, write and tell stories. Do we? Yes, we all do. Who tells you stories, children? Your parents, your grandparents, your teachers, your friends? Lovely. Have you written any story? Some of you have written. Okay. Others too can try. It's an interesting activity. From where do you read stories, children? Yes. From the books, magazines, cartoons and pictures. Good. Children, today I am going to recite a poem on books from your textbook on page
135.
While listening to the poem, look at page number
135.
for the poem. Here we go.
Books. Come in, said the library door. I opened it wide and saw books galore. Tall, skinny books up high on the shelves, little fat books that stood by themselves. I opened one up and sat down to look. The pictures told stories. What a wonderful book!
Did you like the poem, children? Yes? Then recite the poem along with your friends at home as home task. Here are few new words at the bottom of page
135.
Repeat after me. Library, wide, galore, skinny, shelves. Wonderful. Now use dictionary to know the meanings of the new words we have just read and write down in your notebooks. And also make a dictionary of the new words with meanings for you as home task. Children, now look at page
136.
You have an interesting activity on this page. Here we go for the first one. Reading is fun. Here you have 3 questions to answer. The first one is, what did the library door say? Yes, you are right. Come in, said the library door. Let us move on for the second question. What did the books in the library look like? You are correct. The books in the library looked tall, skinny and little fat. The third question is, why did the child in the poem like looking at the pictures? Absolutely right. The child in the poem liked looking at the pictures because the pictures tell stories to the child. The second activity is, let's listen. Listen to the words and look at the images. Come in, go out, go out. Children, you must have already seen similar images at different places. At home, at the library, at the doctor's place, at the bus stop, and at the toy shop. Write down your responses in the space provided against each later as home task. The next activity on page 136 is let's talk. Here we have 4 questions to answer. I shall read them for you. Here we go. First question, do you like reading storybooks? The next one, what kinds of stories do you like? We have the third question now. The word gather means in great numbers. Do you also have a class library or a school library which keeps many books? Can you borrow books? Here we go for the fourth question. Tell your friends about your favorite storybook. Talk about the character you liked most in the book. Children, I want you to answer the questions I read yourself later as home task. Here comes fun time. Children, enjoy playing a book chain. Form a group. Sit in a circle. Begin with you by saying the name of your favorite storybook. Then the next member will tell his storybook's name. This way you can further extend the book chain. Play it whenever you are free. I am sure you will love it. Turn the page please. We are at page 138. Here you have to make word families by filling the gaps with ELL, AIL, EE, OOK. The first word is written for you in red. You can look at them. Here they are. You will enjoy making word families as homework. The last activity on the same page 138. Look at this sentence. A library is a place where books are kept. Now fill in the blanks after reading these sentences. Do it later as home task, children. Let us move forward. Now I am going to tell you an interesting story behind going to buy a book. Here we go. One day, grandfather gave some money to the brother and sister and asked to buy a book. What did he say? He asked them to go and buy a book. Both of them were very happy as they love to read. Do you read, children? Yes? Very good. Keep it up. Now, both the brother and sister discussed when to go to buy books this way. Should we go now? Should we go later? Should we go today? Should we go tomorrow? Finally, they decided to go right at that moment. After going to the market, again they began to discuss this way. Should we go to the big market? Should we go to a small shop?
Should we go with somebody?
Should we go alone? Then they decided to go to a small shop, as the small shop had many books in it. And the man in the small bookshop liked them and helped them always. And now the sister is confused again. She has a lot of questions in her mind this way. Should I buy a book with lot of pictures? Should I buy a book with lot of stories, or should I buy a thin book? She could not decide. Both of them were confused. The man at the shop looked at them, smiled at them and asked them to relax, and gave them few books with
about animals, about machines,
and about the wars. Both of them picked few books. He sat on the chair and she sat on the floor, and they read and read and read. It was quiet. There was no sound. 1 hour passed, 2 hours passed. Then they knew which book to buy. The man in the bookshop smiled at them. She got a fat book with many stories. He got a big book with many pictures.
They both ran home to their grandfather.
Climbed on his bed. He put his arms around them. Then they read and read and read. Children, do you know who has written this story for you? Yes, it is written by Rukmini Banerjee. Now, we have new words at the bottom of the page. Repeat after me. Alone, bookshop, machines, finally, climbed. Use the English dictionary to know the meanings of the new words we just read, and write them in your notebook, and also make a dictionary of the new words with meanings for you.
Now, please look at the page 143.
Here we have few interesting activities. The first one is reading is fun. Here we need to answer 3 questions. Here we go. The first one, why did grandfather give money to the children? Yes, you are right. Grandfather gave money to the children to buy some books. Second question, where did they go to buy books? Absolutely right.
They went to the small bookshop to buy books.
The third question, did the girl buy a picture book? Yes, you're right. She did not buy a picture book. The next activity is let's listen and search. It's a group activity. Listen and do as I tell. Form a group. One of you can give directions orally only once. The others will listen and hunt for the 10 directions given on page
143.
I shall read them for you. A circle, a square, a triangle. Rest you can do it by yourself and enjoy playing the hunt game whenever you are free. The next activity on page
143.
Let's talk. You discuss with your friends and answer these 2 questions at the bottom of page
143
later as homework. Turn the page please. Now we have let's write activity on page
144.
Look at these sentences in the story. Should we go to the big market? Should we go to the small shop? Should I buy a thin book? The colored words in the above sentences are describing words. Now fill in more describing words in the passage below. It was a dash night. Yes, you are right. It was a dark night. A dash girl sat up in bed listening to her mother tell a dash story. Yes, you are right. A little girl sat up in bed listening to her mother tell a beautiful story. Her dash eyes opened wide and she gave dash smile. Yes, you are right. Her bright eyes opened wide and she gave a sweet or cute smile. Now go to sleep, Paro. Her mother closed the book. Dash dreams, sweet dreams. Now we have completed the passage by filling more describing words. Read it later, children. The next activity is very interesting. You need to imagine that you are at the bookshop and what you do there, you have to write in the space provided later as home task. Now look at page 145. Here Tina goes to the library to borrow a book. Complete her dialogue with the librarian by using connecting words and or are in the blanks. Let us try to complete. Here we go. Tina, ma'am, I want to borrow a book. Librarian, do you want a story book? Dash a book of poems or a book of poems. Tina, I want a story book. Librarian, do you like stories about animals? Dash adventure stories. Yes, you are right. Or adventure stories. You will enjoy doing it as homework, children. Look at page 146. You have a very interesting activity on this page to make your own bookmark. Children, remember to treat your books well. Never fold the corners of the pages. It makes the book look shabby and old, as this book. Do you treat your books well, children? Yes, very good. Children, look at my book. How is it? Thanks. It's clean, looks neat. Yes, I treat my book very well. To do so, follow the instructions given on page 147. A bookmark helps you find the page you last read your book. Here is my bookmark. You can prepare your bookmark following the instructions on page 146 as home task. Now look at page 148. Here is an interesting information about the earliest books. The earliest books were written by hand 2000 years ago in India. Birch bark, bhojpatra and palm leaves, talapatra were used for pages. A pen and black ink were used to write on birch bark. A sharp iron spike was used for writing on palm leaves. Holes were drilled through the leaves and the book was held together by a string. Now we have a poem. Let's read it. Say in chorus, books are great, books are fun, books let you do what you have never done. Read a good mystery, solve a crime. Read about history, go back in time. Read about a lost dog, where can it be? Read about a giant frog under the sea. Read a very funny book, tears go away. Read a bright, sunny book on a rainy day. Chorus. Books are great, books are fun, let's read books, everyone. Did you enjoy the poem, children? Yes. Books are great fun. They provide us with lots of information about the world around us. Keep reading books, children. We have completed Unit 8. Hope you have enjoyed learning, children. That's all for today. See you next time. Bye.